So Max Holloway versus Yair Rodriguez has now been booked and made official for the main event of a fight night on July the 17th, and I can't wait to see two top contenders in their own division take on each other in the main event of a fight night, because recently the main events of fight nights have been quite appalling, and it feels really good to actually have something where there's something on the line. Title elimination bout 100% between Holloway and Yair Rodriguez. You've got the number one guy in the division, Max Holloway, the number three guy in the division, Yair Rodriguez. You've also got Volkanovski versus Ortega happening not too long after that, I would assume, maybe around August or September. But let's talk about Max Holloway versus Yair Rodriguez, because this fight, it just tickles my pickle, in all honesty. It really does make me very, very happy to see a big fight made between two top contenders, because right now, top contenders are kind of just sitting around, not really doing too much, and we've got Max Holloway taking on all comers in that featherweight division. He's kind of doing a bit of a Robert Whittaker move right now, where Adesanya's the champ, Whittaker's not really the champ, but he's kind of defending his number one position over and over and over again against top contenders. Holloway still got to get to those numbers that Whittaker has to defend that number one position, but this is his second defense of the number one spot in the featherweight division. And even if Volkanovski beats Ortega, if Holloway beats Yair Rodriguez, regardless of how he beats him, he could punch him and Yair could have a Shane Burgos-like reaction to a jab in the first 30 seconds of the fight. I don't care. Even if Volkanovski wins against Ortega, we've got to make the trilogy between Volkanovski and Max Holloway. The fights were close enough. I thought Volkanovski won them because I have a brain, but either way, they were close enough. I accept that, and I accept that a trilogy is allowed to be made despite Volkanovski winning the first two. But let's talk about this matchup, because it's a really good one, okay? I think Max Holloway is going to fucking wipe the floor with Yair Rodriguez. And I think Tapology does agree with me, because I checked on who people think is going to win this bout, and it was 97% for Max Holloway. Okay, and 3% for Yair Rodriguez. And I kind of feel like that 3% is probably Yair Rodriguez refreshing the page and making new accounts and voting for himself, because I don't see a way that Yair Rodriguez is going to win this bout, but I credit him for taking it, because this is not a happy signing of a contract. You know, there's certain fights that you can take on in a division where you're signing the paper and, you know, like Islam Makhachev sees Thiago Moises and he's like, oh, I like this matchup for myself. I just beat Davey Ramos not too long ago. Nice and happy. Probably whistled a tune to himself as he signed the contract. I reckon lightning struck the second Yair Rodriguez was done signing the contract for this Max Holloway fight. Everything went dark. The power surged in the house. There was a shaking of the table. There was a seance going on. Like, I reckon real demons infested Yair Rodriguez's home as he signed the contract to fight Max Holloway, because it's not going to go well for him, man. I don't see how he wins, in all honesty. I feel like you have to be a certain type of fighter that has a bunch of ingredients. And I think Alexander Volkanovski, even if you think Holloway won the second fight, is that fighter with those ingredients to beat Max Holloway. He's got a ridiculously long reach for his size. Yair Rodriguez is going to have a 2-inch reach advantage here with the hands over Max Holloway. But I feel like you've got to have some kind of power with the boxing, and I know Yair Rodriguez is going to be dangerous for those first two rounds, because as much as people like the chin of Max Holloway, if Yair Rodriguez lands one of those vicious body kicks, Holloway will fold badly to those body shots. Like, he's got to be real careful in those first two rounds of Yair Rodriguez just slamming kicks into his ribs over and over and over again, because it does not matter how Hawaiian you are, you can't take shots to deliver like that, and you can't take kicks by Yair Rodriguez. But Holloway seems to have figured out the kicking game of his MMA arsenal over the past 2 years, and I think Volkanovski in the first fight kind of showed him that that was something that needed to be addressed. Against Dustin Poirier, there was big boxing power to stop Holloway from being able to pressure Dustin Poirier in the way that he wanted to, and Holloway even did quite well in the later rounds against Dustin Poirier anyway. But still, Poirier had that power, that size, that strength to just stop Holloway being able to just walk all over him and really give him something to worry about with the hands. Same with Alexander Volkanovski in that first fight as well. Every single time Holloway tried to go in to start a combination, boom! Big overhand from Alexander Volkanovski, stuck Holloway on the chin and made him regret wanting to pressure Volkanovski and made him a bit more of a patient guy. I think you have to have something in terms of consequences with the hands to make Holloway not just walk all over you. in all honesty, because with kicks, and with the kicks that Yair Rodriguez throws, being a tall, rangy guy that likes to set up big, dramatic kicks, really amazing looking kicks, head kicks, body kicks, spinning kicks, you can't be pushed backwards and set up those kicks with the same effectiveness as you would if you were pushing forwards against someone and landing those kicks. I think with Holloway backing up Yair Rodriguez, the kick game is going to be very impossible to land with any effectiveness because of Holloway just constantly pressuring him backwards. And I don't think Yair Rodriguez has the boxing power in his hands to make Holloway back up and make Yair Rodriguez get the center of the octagon for a couple of seconds. I don't think he has the leg kicks that Alexander Volkanovski has. He is a taller man, which I think benefits Max Holloway. Like, he needs to find his way on the inside because he typically has shorter arms than a lot of his opponents, and sort of pressure them against the cage, rip to the body, stuff like that against a shorter opponent. That's just way more difficult to do, especially when Volkanovski has a reach advantage over Holloway and he's shorter. It's so difficult to find your way onto those inside combinations against a guy who's shorter than you with longer reach and with more power as well. I think you have to be Alexander Volkanovski. I think you have to be, and I'll say this as well, Frankie Edgar. You have to be a shorter guy with tight hands that can beat Holloway in the close exchanges, that can pick at him at the legs from range a little bit as well, that can threaten the takedown, and we'll talk about that as well, Yair Rodriguez. You're stuck on the feet with Holloway. If Holloway wants to take you down, that's his choice. You're stuck. What the fuck? I mean, listen, man, I kind of credit Yair Rodriguez, in all honesty, because people were talking about how he was scared of Zabit, like he doesn't want to take on Zabit for his title elimination bout. He's signing a 5-rounder with Holloway knowingly when maybe he could even haggle for a 3-rounder on a pay-per-view or something like that. There's the McGregor pay-per-view before this. I'm sure they would love a Holloway versus Yair for 3 rounds on the feature fight of that main card of the pay-per-view. I don't think Yair was scared of Zabit. You can't say that anymore. Maybe there was some disagreements over whether or not it should be 3 rounds or 5 rounds against Zabit. Maybe something like that was going on, but you can't see a man sign a 5-round bout with Holloway when he has little to no chance for a title elimination bout and act like he was scared of Zabit for a title elimination bout. I know he may have pulled out of some fights and may have had some issues with USADA as well, and that is another problem that Yair Rodriguez is going to have in this bout. Holloway is active. He's taken little damage. He did not take much damage against Calvin Kattar. However, he did get hit a couple of good times by Kattar really badly in that fight, but he took it well. Never really got wobbled or concussed in that fight, even whilst taking some big shots. Never really bruised himself or broke anything in that fight. Like, he is fresh, has not had much damage. Even in his loss to Alexander Volkanovski in the rematch, it's not like he got beaten up in a title fight, like he got barely outpointed based on a certain couple of rounds and a certain couple of strikes landed and a certain couple of takedowns that were mixed in at the end of those rounds to look good for the judge's opinion on the fight. He's fresh. He's not coming off a war like he was against Dustin Poirier when he went against Frankie Edgar and looked a little bit less than impressive, in all honesty. He's fresh. He's got momentum. Yair's fucked, dude. What's he gonna do about this? I'm interested to see the game plan, because he does have some leg kicks, but the problem with Yair Rodriguez's leg kicks, he does them from range, and he really hacks at the leg hard. Massive swings with the leg kicks. You can see it coming, but when it lands, it's real hard on the leg. And maybe he's going to go out there and try and chop down Holloway. I'd assume that's what he's going to do. I don't see him trying to box with Holloway. I think he's going to try and chop at the legs, then try and go for some switch kicks to the legs, and then try and mix in some switch kicks to the body and stuff like that to try and wear down Holloway's cardio early so he can't take over later on. But Yair can be swarmed. And we did see him slow down against the Korean Zombie despite getting that 5th round TKO. I know he took that fight on short notice, but I think it was very clear that he'd had a bit of a camp for that fight. Donald Cerrone was supposed to be on the same card. Yair Rodriguez was training with Donald Cerrone throughout his training camp, so he was ready for a scrap in that Korean Zombie bout. And the Korean Zombie bout, even though it was high-paced, there's different pace, man. The Korean Zombie bout was high-paced. It was a very fun, active, action-packed fight, non-stop. But then there's Holloway levels. And Holloway levels are just a bit, you know, they're just a bit too much volume. And I think Yair's going to quit on the stall at the end of round 4. I think Holloway will finish him. Fuck, I kind of like Yair as well. I like his style, and it's going to be a fun scrap in those first 2 rounds. 100%. I think, actually, you know what? Yair Rodriguez, although he may not survive all 5 rounds, I think he will do better than I think he will do better than Calvin Kattar in those early rounds against Max Holloway. I think he will have some success. Maybe he's actually going to sneak the first round or something like that, just purely based on his explosiveness and his randomness with the kicks. But as the fight goes on, he'll be backed up. He will start being pressured. Holloway will start ripping to the body. Yair, who's a big kicker, is not going to be able to set him up moving backwards. He hasn't got much punching power. He's got a good chin, but that doesn't really matter because Ortega had a good chin, and it just means you're going to quit on the stool rather than going out cold, in all honesty. I'm seeing Yair Rodriguez with a swollen up eye, a swollen up lip, spitting out his teeth in the corner, and his coaching just calling off the fight, throwing in the towel, and making it stop for Yair Rodriguez. The pain will be too much. Holloway will get a finish in round 4 at the end of the fight, just like the Brian Ortega scrap. I think it will actually be pretty identical, except instead of Ortega throwing elbows and punches, Yair will throw a lot more kicks. I'm so glad we have this, man. Look at the event that it's on. Like, everything about this I love. Look at the 3 events in a row that we have. Someone put this on Instagram about the actual fight being announced. We've got Poirier versus McGregor 3, July 10th. We've also got Wilder versus Fury 3 in this time as well, but who the fuck cares about bitch-ass boxing? Either way, July 17th, the weekend after the Poirier versus McGregor card, we have Holloway versus Rodriguez. This fight. The weekend after that, we have Corey Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw. The weekend after that, we have... No, this is my fight. Luque versus Chiesa. I just made that one up. But other than that, let me read you the card of July 17th because you need to digest this. July is amazing. I love it. The summer is always good for fights. The McGregor card is basically done at this point. We just had another amazing fight announced for that one, which was Mikel Pereira, Nico Price. I'm going to orgasm. I'm going to hold myself just to tell you this card. You need to hear this. Main card. Max Holloway versus Yair Rodriguez main event. Islam Makhachev, Thiago Moises co-main event. Daniel Rodriguez versus Abubakar Nurmagomedov feature fight. Misha Tate versus Marion Renault, who the fuck cares, but hey, one of them's hot. Jeremy Stevens versus Mateus Gamrot on the main card. Deron Wynn versus Phil Hawes on the main card. Amir Albazi, Ode Osborne, Amanda Lemos, Montserrat Ruiz, Fat Ass. Rodolfo Vieira versus Dustin Stoltzfus. Don Madge versus Guram Kutateledze. Miles Johns versus Anderson Dos Santos. Miles Johns on the card. Francisco Figueiredo, we got a Figgy Bro on the card. Malcolm Gordon, who the fuck cares? Billy Quarantillo versus Herbert Burns. Khalid Taha, Sergey Morozov, Alan Badeau, Rodrigo Nascimento for hair, Cameron Else, Aaron Phillips. The card's fucking done. No more questions asked. Take my fucking money, except I won't be giving it to you because I have a brain and I'll find other ways of watching. Like and subscribe. Holloway round 4 TKO. Winner of this one gets a title shot. The loser of this one, which is going to be Yair, I think he has to be punished, in all honesty. For being out this long, failing USADA test, he arguably shouldn't be gifted a title elimination bout after failing USADA. Or he didn't fail a USADA test, he just failed to show up to them, which means probably he was going to fail them. Everybody's on fucking steroids nowadays. Either way, I feel like the loser of this one's going to have to take on an up-and-comer, especially if it's Yair Rodriguez. Maybe Holloway can get the loser of Ortega versus Volkanovski if he does lose and get right back in the mix. That would be amazing. Maybe Yair Rodriguez can take on like a Josh Emmett, Arnold Allen winner, or maybe like... Who else is there? A Giga Chikadze, something like that. But that'll be too late by then. I don't even know. Just figure something out, for fuck's sake. Either way, there is a chance, before I leave, okay? There is a chance that 26-year-old Yair Rodriguez that left this sport 2 years ago has been training and changing his game to a whole new level. Because now he's going to be 28 come fight night. There's a chance. Listen, now Holloway changed up his game. I think the old Holloway would maybe have a little bit of trouble with the current version of Yair Rodriguez. But since Holloway has perfected the kick game, he started mixing it in a little bit better. He's got elbows now. He's got some good knees, some better spinning kicks than he's had before in his career with the spinning back kick to the body. I think with Holloway's new understanding of what he needs to work on with the kicks, he can beat Yair. But don't sleep on Yair. I don't think he wins. But one body kick, Holloway's shitting out his guts. Let's be real. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button up there. Toodle pip. I'll see you later.